Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. I feel like all my videos start here for the YouTube, but I'm actually going to meal prep and I thought I would record this because one, it's gonna help my clients or it's gonna help anyone who's on their weight loss journey trying to figure out how to meal prep and how to make food a little bit more exciting. So what I like to do, I like to do two big batches of chicken tenderloins. So I really like chicken tenderloins because what I like to do is kind of switch it up. And what I mean by that is this past week, we had pork tenderloin, and I do that shredded, like the same way as I do shredded chicken. So with this, it gives me more of I eat the chicken whole, so it gives me a different texture. So what I'm gonna do is I like to season them different ways. So my husband really enjoys having this seasoning. This is the Aldi. This seasoning, you get it at Aldi's. So what I'm gonna do is do one with this seasoning. I like to try different things. So I have like this fajita one. I have this honey garlic. I have garlic salt. This one's really good. It might be a little bit more plain. I mainly like these on veggies. And then I have this Larry one. I feel like it's too salty. And sometimes some of the seasonings are hit and miss, but one of the ones that we really like is this one. So I already aligned all my baking sheets with foil just because it makes the whole cleaning process a lot easier. But what I like to do is when I'm gonna use my oven, I try to do everything in the oven because my chicken is mostly gonna bake for about 35 to 40 minutes. And I like to take advantage of the fact that I already turned it on. So what I'm gonna do for veggies is I bought these poblano peppers. So I'm gonna bake those. And I'm gonna do the chicken. I'm gonna show you guys how simple it is. So what we're gonna do is I do my best to only use one hand to put the chicken in the pan. So I'm not, touching the raw chicken and then touching the rest of the stuff. And then you always wanna make sure you season both sides, okay? My husband likes to do this thing where he just seasons the top and then the other half has nothing. It has no flavor. And that's just the way he likes to do things. I like to turn it over. You want to make sure that your food tastes really good. So this is how we're going to start. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people like to follow recipes or they want to make their life a little bit complicated. And I feel like the more you complicate your life, the harder this meal prep is going to get. So I suggest just try to keep it as simple as possible. And I'm going to give you some tricks after this, what I suggest with your meals. So there you go. I did one. So as you see, I like to season it pretty generously. I like to make sure that it gets enough seasoning. Now the other one, you know what? This is also the best time that I like to use up my seasonings that I normally don't like. So for example, I'm gonna use this one. It says carne asada seasoning. Got it at the Mexican section. So this would just give it a different flavor. I personally didn't like this one, but because most of the time I add sauces to my meals afterwards and they're low calorie sauces, I could hardly tell sometimes the seasoning, except the red one. The red one is bomb. If you guys have an Aldi, you need to go. So what I'm gonna do is put the oven at 375 and put the chicken for about 30 to 40 minutes. I'll show you guys what that looks like when it comes out. And what I like to do is I do have a thermometer where I check that it is cooked. So I like to have it like at 165. That usually means the meat is cooked, and that's where it's the most tender and moist. Otherwise, it's gonna be really dry. So then from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to bake some of the poblano peppers. I actually use these. I sometimes do like chile rellenos, but not the original kind, the healthier kind. I stuff them with meat and I just bake them. But for this time, because I don't actually like putting these in my eggs, so I like to bake them and then I add them to my eggs, and it just tastes a little different than just having spinach. So this, I let them roast, and then I do get rid of like the skin on the top. And for veggies, I'm gonna make some zucchini. So normally zucchini, I like to do them on the stove top. I just like pan fry them, but for the sake of the video and the fact that I'm already baking everything, I'm going to show you that it is so much easier to take advantage of that. So we're gonna go ahead and cut up some pieces. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I've been kind of lazy with my veggies. Like, I've been buying like shredded lettuce and shredded cabbage, and that's what I've been eating. So this week I said I was gonna make it a priority to be a lot more better with my veggie intake, because I just been lazy. I'm not gonna lie. So this is the best way. I'm going to roast up a good amount. I don't like mushy veggies, so what I'm doing is I'm cutting them into like thicker rounds so that way they don't get overcooked. And I'm probably gonna cook these for a very little time in there. There you go. Sometimes I put onion in here, but I don't want to cry in front of you guys because the onion is horrible. So then for the zucchinis, I really like to put, I'm probably putting a little bit too much, but I really like the garlic salt. So I went ahead and did that. Oh, and then you know what? I actually have another one. I have this, well, I have this salt-free garlic seasoning, and I'm only gonna put it because since it doesn't have any salt on it, we're just gonna flavor the food a little bit more, the veggies. So you wanna make sure your veggies taste really amazing. Let me see if I can add anything else to that. That's about it for the baking that I'm gonna do. Another thing I suggest, if you are someone who likes to snack or have crunchy things, I suggest having like your cucumber already cut up for you, and that way you already have like a snack or something like that. So I'm gonna cut up the cucumber. Also an old cucumber, so I have to make sure I use it. The other day I paired this with like jicama. It was delicious. Okay. So now we're gonna put the chicken in the oven. Now I wait. So I'm gonna put timer. I'm gonna put it about 35 minutes, just because I would rather have the chicken not undercooked. But what I'm saying is, like, I would rather not overcook it. So now I'm gonna cut up some cucumber, because lately I've been craving more crunchy stuff. I don't know, like, not craving crunchy stuff, like I don't crave like chips and stuff like that, but I've been wanting, probably looks weird that I'm talking with the knife like this, huh? I've been craving a lot more like crunch, and I think the reason being is like I got a little bit of dental work done and I can't have crunchy things, and they told me I can't have it, and now I want it. I hate when they do that, you know. keep that in mind. If you're craving things, is it because you told yourself you couldn't have it? So, voila, cucumbers. So now I have cucumbers set up. And my protein's cooking, and this took me like 20 minutes according to the video. I probably could have made it a lot faster if I wasn't talking so much. So 20 minutes plus, as soon as I take it out, I'll go ahead and start you guys up again so you can see how I check with the thermometer. I'm also going to clean up here. But in the meantime, you know what? Let me share with you a little bit of like tricks that you don't need to have food prep. So I always have like microwavable rice just in case I didn't have any time to make any type of carbs. Now you guys might see over there I do have potatoes, and I'm actually gonna make potatoes today because they're just a lot more satiating. I also have rice cakes that I could just have on the go. If I want something crunchy, that's definitely go. And I have tuna packets that I recently been wanting to do just because when my husband, so my lunch tends to be very basic, and sometimes I like, let's say we finished our dinner, our protein for dinner, and I have to just prep the next day. I would rather prep for like dinner than lunch. Like I could eat whatever. I don't like really care. So these are super amazing because they're just like, you don't need to prep them. I just seriously dump them into like a salad or something, or even on the rice cakes, and that's a meal. To me, lunch has to be simple, quick, and just hold me over for dinner, because the meals I really like is breakfast and dinner, and those are just my favorites. So I'm going to share that with you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this up again once I have the food ready to show you guys, and I gotta clean up the mess I just made. Already doing all this, you might as well take advantage. So I cut up a whole bag of potatoes. I don't know how much pounds it was, but it was a whole bag of potatoes. Potatoes, I like to do them in the air fryer, so I'm going to do them into 2 batches because it's a lot of them. But I really like this seasoning called Slap Your Mama. You could get it at Walmart. This one's really good. And what I'm gonna do is, you know, put my first batch in the air fryer, and maybe for about 30 minutes. So this one can seem like it's a little bit more tedious. The thing about the air fryer is, like, if you could go and do things, right? You could probably be in the middle of your workout. You could go do your workout while this is cooking. Now, is it gonna smell amazing? Yeah, you're gonna get hungry. So my oven just beeped. We're gonna see if the chicken's actually ready. You just turn this on, and then you just put it on the chicken, like 165. And you gotta think in mind, like, the chicken continues to cook as well. Worry so much about the chicken being like too cooked that you overcook it, and then it's not gonna taste good, or it's gonna be too dry, and that's where things kind of go bad. All right, so as you guys see, it says 165, and it's already cooked. If you're worried about your chicken, best investment. I don't like to overcook my vegetables. So meal prep is pretty much done, and what I did is I put my 2 chickens in a Tupperware, my potatoes, my veggies, and my poblanos I'm gonna have for my eggs. So you might have noticed that I don't really prep meals per se. I like to prep in bulk. The reason being is because one day I could have a bowl of potatoes with veggies and chicken. The next day I can easily have tacos. If I wanted to have rice with my chicken, then I could go ahead and do that. So what I like to do is alternate my meals. That way I don't get bored, because I feel like when you prep the same meals for the week, you're not gonna look forward to eating. The other thing I have is I always have sauces. You do have to be careful with your sauces though, but this way my meals taste different. So I have like this buffalo wing sauce. This one's about 20 calories per tablespoon, so you have to be really careful when you do that. I have this, I haven't really opened this one, so I haven't tried it, but I have the sweet and spicy barbecue sauce because every so often I want something different. This one is 15 calories for 2 tablespoons, so I actually get more of this than that one. Then one of my clients introduced me to this one. They sell it at Costco. It's the cilantro and lime crema. It's delicious. This one is a little bit more. It's 40 calories per tablespoon. So with every meal, I'll add some of these sauces, and it makes it taste differently. I have ponzu sauce. I have soy sauce. I also have some chili garlic. It's really gonna make a huge difference to your meals. This is another one, the red hot sauce. This one's actually 0 calories, so I would suggest doing that. And I know I have so much stuff, you guys. Like, I kid you not. This is how I don't get bored of food. And the other thing is, like, my husband likes to eat this way too. So I feel like if he likes it, then I know it's good. Okay. What else was I gonna do? I was gonna show you guys. Oh, and then I have the cucumbers already cut up too. I have mustard. So if you never had mustard in your salad, it tastes really delicious. Give it a try. Oh, and I do green salsa. So I do green salsa and I put it on my bowls, and that's really how I like to walk away and talk. So that's really how I make different things with the same meals, with the same chicken. And like one day I'll have chicken tacos, one day I'll do like potato, like a little bowl with potatoes and veggies. And then my veggies, so I like to cook this for about, I wouldn't say this lasts us about 3 days or so, and then I switch it up. So after this prep, most likely I'm gonna prep the ground turkey to change up the texture because that's super important. And after that, like I have fish or I have shrimp, and then most likely the next time we go grocery shopping, I'm going to go ahead and do chicken breast, so that way I have shredded chicken, and it also changes up the texture. So those things are super important. But hopefully this kind of gave you an idea of how easy meal prep can be. I feel like this could have easily taken me like less than an hour if I would have decided to do the potatoes a little bit sooner, or I wouldn't have done the whole batch of potatoes. But it's very easy. Don't complicate it. Make your food, like, you want to think of meal prep, the thing that's going to help you feel less stressed about cooking. So I used to think like I wanted to cook all the time. I enjoy cooking most of the time, but to be honest, like every time I don't have meal prep and we have to think of what to eat, it frustrates me. Like, we have gotten to that stage where my husband and I, most of the time, we'd rather eat our food at home because the restaurants kind of like frustrate us. Like, we don't really find anything that's like amazingly delicious, or sometimes we think too much, and a lot of times we're like, we could have ate that at home and it would have tasted so much better. This takes a while to build up to it, I'm not gonna lie. Like, everybody's different. I'm not saying you have to be this way. It's just something that we notice that we do. But yeah, I wanted to share with you guys my meal prep. I do my best to share meals. If I remember, recording is definitely difficult, especially when life has been a little bit busy, and I have mentioned like YouTube is like the last thing on my mind because it was supposed to be a fun thing. But I also realized that a lot of my clients would really appreciate finding ways of making things easy. So if you thought this was really helpful, give the video a thumbs up. It lets me know what type of direction or what type of videos you guys enjoy. And I hope you guys have a great week.